How do you stay motivated and overcome creative blocks in your songwriting especially?
Yeah, I find this a struggle still. I'm like half in a creative block right now. It comes in waves with it. I try so hard to just remember that I can write about anything and everything. Like, it doesn't have to be about a breakup, or it could be about losing a friend. It could be about just being unmotivated in life. It can be about everything that I want it to be. It could be about how I like my coffee.
Life gets tough, and I know it's hard to cope with the unknown. For all of us, I know it'd be easy if we were perfect, but we're not. So we go to find our faith, to find our hope. It all begins with looking up. It all begins with you. It's time to elevate. We sing it loud and proud. We make our voices known. Nothing can shut them out. Elevate. Shout it for you and me. We can do anything. It's time to set us free.
Welcome. I'm Ann Lucenti, and it's time to elevate. And I'm super excited today because today we have a special guest joining us. And if this is not your first time joining us, then you definitely heard a little bit about her. She's a talented singer, songwriter, actor, and just happens to be my beautiful daughter. So it's no surprise to me that she has followed her passion for singing and songwriting. Growing up, she would sing from morning to night, filling the house with music and song, and quite loudly, I might add. Although I do miss that now. I have original songs that she wrote for me on different occasions, my birthday, Mother's Day, and I even have one that was written after a little disagreement. I figure someday, very soon, I can make lots of money off of these. But she truly writes from the heart. And when she was not singing, she was working on a monologue or a script. So here we go. Join me in welcoming the creator of the Time to Elevate theme song, my girl, Victoria Lynn Purdy.
Hi, Mom.
Welcome, Victoria Lynn Purdy.
Thank you. I forgot about all those songs that I wrote when I was a kid.
I know. Oh, and you know what? They were really, I still have them on recordings, and I still have them where I
Oh.
saved. Yeah, no, not on paper. I
Oh,
have
yeah, I
them.
stole your recorder.
Yes.
And I went in the garage and I was like, don't listen to it
The one.
until Mother's Day.
I love the one where we did have that disagreement, and I don't even remember what it was about, but I was obviously annoyed at you, and you were like, I'm sorry, I'm such a pain or something. It was so funny. It was so fun. But they were really good.
Nice.
The Mother's Day and the other ones were really great. I love them. They're all good. And the random ones. There were random ones too.
Funny. Yeah, they were.
I know. But before we get started, I wanted to ask you, I mean, because I have questions, of course, for you. But before I start with questioning you, the Time to Elevate podcast.
Yes.
And for those that are here for the first time, you might want to listen to the pilot at some point because you'll hear like the whole background of us and what was going on and everything. But how did you do it? Because literally, I mean, I know you know me because you're my daughter, but literally, I might have told you two things, and it's the perfect song. So what was your process?
Thanks. You told me about it, and then I waited about 6 months to do it.
But I wasn't ready either. Not your fault. I finally said, I think I might be ready. We're going to be ready soon.
Yeah. Yeah, you sent me a song that was You Got This, I think. No, you got this. Give me something like that.
I remember this.
And
I can't remember the.
It was very upbeat, and I don't do upbeat songs.
I know.
I don't know. You sent it to me, and then I was like, oh yeah, okay. So I had to kind of go off of that. I put a lot of like claps and bells and stuff in it to make it happy because I write a lot of breakup songs and a lot of sad songs. So I just like sat down and I listened to that song that you sent me as like a reference take, and you also sent me that, and you sent me a couple like maybe like quotes or something.
Maybe I did.
That your first podcast was going to be about. I might have known what your first episode was going to be.
Yes.
And so I kind of took it from that, like what you wanted the podcast to be on. And so, yeah, and then I just took a few words and I started writing it.
I love it because, even years before we actually started this, I was talking about it, right? I was like, one day,
Yeah.
you'll write me a song, and one day, and then I saved, and there
Yeah.
was a particular song. I'm like, okay, this is kind of not the beat, but that was the kind of feel I wanted from it. And you did really good the first
Yeah.
time, but I remember saying maybe a little happier because it's
Oh, it
kind
was
of
so
like it was like
depressing.
the
Yeah,
words are really
I
good,
liked it.
but I want to like be that we elevate each other. You did
Yeah,
good though.
yeah.
But you seriously, seriously did good, and obviously, you guys heard this at the intro at the beginning, and you'll hear it the entire song. We hear most of the song at the beginning, but you'll hear the entire song
Mhm.
at the end too. It's great. I love it. I love it, and I know you said you were
Thank
gonna add
you.
to it and all that kinda stuff eventually, but
Mhm.
there's no pressure because I really love it. But when you do,
It'll happen in
maybe I'll
another
give you a
6
date. I'll
months.
give you a date. I want no,
Yeah, give me a date. If you give me a date, I can do it. If you don't, it's never happening.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, it really was amazing to me because, like I
Thanks.
said, I was like, "Oh my gosh, the words that like that's it," and the little like ding, you have that like in the perfect
Yeah.
spot. It's so great. When I hear it, I cry every time. I still do. Oh
That's
my gosh,
funny.
I know. I love it. So, well, you know what? I was gonna say like go into asking you questions, but just tell me like a little bit, like where you at, where you living, how'd you get
Currently, right
there,
now,
that kind of thing.
I am sitting in my 2nd bedroom. I'm in Charleston, South Carolina right
And
now,
I cry because I'm
and
in
Mom
New
cried.
York.
I know, my sister's here too.
Yes,
Sorry,
both
Mom.
of them, and they are
Um,
twins in case you guys, don't know that already.
yes.
Yes, they are twins, and I'm
Yeah.
missing them terribly.
So we are in South Carolina. Yeah, I am living here with my boyfriend and ew.
Who is one
And no.
ew. Paco, I know you're gonna
Love
listen
you.
to this, and we
No.
love you. She's just kidding. She can't help but say ew. Why is that? I don't know. That's a
I don't
story for
know.
another
I don't
day. She
know.
just teases him.
Um, but we love him. So I'm here in
We
South
do.
Carolina. And yeah, just doing my thing
I
here
love it. I
for
love it.
now, sitting in my music room.
I love it. And,
Yeah.
okay, so I miss it because I know when of course, we're all living here forever, we got 3 kids, I got a son too. We're all here. Um, her and her sister would sing around, do things around the house and everything, and sometimes I'd be like, "I'm on the phone," or, "I'm on a Zoom," like, "Hold it." But I totally miss
It's not
that, I
my
just want you to
problem.
know. I just want you to know I do totally miss it. In the shower, I'd be
Yeah.
like, "Oh my god, can you hurry up?" Anyway, so but
I know.
before this though, I'm gonna go back because since you're my kid, I know some stories. But I was just gonna say we obviously lived in Highland, New York, for most of your life,
Yes.
and then you went to right, Western Connecticut
Mhm.
State University, WestCon,
Yeah.
and
WestCon.
tell me about that. You did
I did theater performance in WestCon. They're trying to change the name now to say Western, which is weird to me, but
what is it?
WestCon.
Oh, instead
It's
of
just
saying
Western Connecticut.
oh,
Yeah, they think it's bougier or
no,
something.
I don't know. I like
But it's
WestCon. It's easier to say.
WestCon. I know.
Hmm.
So WestCon. I went there for theater performance, um, and because I didn't get into musical theater,
Well, in
and
all fairness, that's
my
a
voice is not a musical theater
I
voice.
was gonna say, not that
Um,
you're yeah, it's a different
No,
genre,
it's
I
not.
think, it really
It
is.
can be. I've
Mhm.
gotten better at making it more musical theater, but my voice does not come out musical theater,
And there's nothing
and
wrong
I
with
don't
that,
want it to.
it's just different,
Yeah.
it's a different genre, it's a different,
Yeah,
you know
and I don't want it to, but I didn't know how to control my voice enough to make it sound musical theater, so, I mean, fair. But so I went there for theater performance, and then graduated with that, graduated early because took a lot of APs in high school, and then we moved back home and pandemic hit.
Yay! Oh,
Woo!
I'm sorry. Not yay pandemic, but yay, everybody was
Yeah.
home.
I mean, we were home anyway, but
Yes.
because we were gonna move to the city,
Yes.
New York City,
Mhm.
and we did not do that because of COVID, and then we ended up moving to Connecticut, and now I'm down here, so all of that. But it was fun.
Right.
During pandemic is when I started actually recording my music and like sitting bored in my room, and I found an old microphone of yours, and I was like, I should do that.
Yeah. Yep, yep, and I thought that was so
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, it was. I mean, like I said, if looking at the positive, right, COVID positives,
Mhm.
pandemic positives is what I have a list of.
Yeah.
It was that. It
Thanks.
was doing that, I think getting, back to nature for me, getting outside and walking because that was all we could do.
Yeah.
But, like, doing
Mhm.
and kind of trying to hone your craft sorta, and
Yeah.
doing stuff like that. But I thought, yeah, so that was pretty cool. Um, what was my next question? What was I gonna ask you? Oh, I was just gonna say, so then you moved and ended up going to South Carolina as well. Well, you were in Connecticut for a little
Mhm.
while and then down there. And
Yeah.
you know what's really funny because on this podcast, a lot of times we'll mention like those God, like last episode is about God winks or God incidences,
Mhm.
and it was the way it was lined up. Like you literally were ready to go to even Queens, right? Astoria, it looked perfect.
Yeah.
And that was after the
Yeah, so
first
pretty.
round of the pandemic. We were between
Yeah.
pandemics,
Mhm.
and you were gonna do that, and then it was like we heard, I don't know, we're thinking something's
Mhm.
gonna happen again, and it got again like a
And
round
it
of like
did.
we don't know, but it worked out perfectly because the rest of your journey there is what it's supposed to be, you know. So
Yeah. No, it's true. Who knows
yeah,
if I'd be here
I
in South
know,
Carolina.
I
So,
know. So I
yeah.
have a few questions for you.
Okay.
So it's a because you are, like I said, singer, songwriter, and an actor. Or would you like to be called actress?
Yes.
I like actor, but actress
I
is
like
good too.
actor. I don't know
I
why.
know
I
they're
like
both good,
actor.
I think, but actor.
Yeah.
I think of the is it the Academy? Oh no, what was on the SAG Awards were on,
SAG
and when they go
awards.
around tell their stories, so you can be like, tell your
Oh,
story, and you'll be like,
yeah.
I'm Victoria Purdy,
I'm an
and I'm an actor, right?
I'm an actor. Yeah.
Okay, well, say that for me. I want to hear you say it.
I'm Victoria Purdy, and I'm an actor.
I just love that. I just love that. I can't wait. So I told you that I've already got like my idea for dresses and stuff for the
I
Grammys and
know.
all that. Even yeah,
Pressure.
and the awards. No pressure, no pressure. Okay. So starting kind of with your music career, okay? So can
Mhm.
you just share a little bit about your like musical journey and how you got started? Like what made you get started as a singer-songwriter?
Yeah, what made me get started was I think I was 6 and I started writing really horrible songs. Um, and they were really short, really stupid about things I'd never experienced, like heartbreak, because I was 6 and that hasn't happened yet. Um, they did get better, thank God. But yeah, I kind of just like, I would base all of my songs off of a lot of heartbreaks, a lot of situations I saw on TV and like Disney Channel, because that's what I was watching. And I hate to say Taylor Swift was a big influence because it's cliche and everyone says that. So that's like annoying. But she was a really big influence because I, as you know, was very obsessed with her CDs. And my aunt would get me a lot of Taylor Swift stuff at Christmas and like different CDs that I'd collect. And
Yeah.
I would just play them in our living room CD player, which I miss now. And it would like I would just like analyze her lyrics constantly, and I think I learned how to write songs from that.
I think, and you know what?
Yeah.
She's a good. I know you think it's cliche because of there's always something to
Mhm.
say about Taylor Swift, but we saw her like at the
I
beginning
know.
ish. Well, it was the Red album. I don't know when that came out, but that was
Yeah,
the
well, you
tour.
went with William first. You went with
Yes,
William to Rascal Flats, and she was opening, and I
she was
remember I was like,
opening. Yep,
"Oh God, jealous."
I know. On her
Um,
guitar, she was. We were at Oh, what? Tell me, Bethel Woods. Bethel Woods.
yeah.
And, and we knew of her, but we didn't really, Rascal Flatts was why we went. And there she was on our guitar and opening for them. And
Oh,
she's really good role model, I
she
think.
is.
I think she is. She just really is.
Yeah,
She worked for it and
she
she
works very
really,
hard.
yes,
Yeah,
she definitely does.
like not many people work
Yeah.
that hard.
Yeah,
So,
so
oof.
for sure. I mean, and it's constant. And that's like with anything, just even talking about that, it's not like, hey, I want to be a singer-songwriter. So yeah, there I go. It's a
Mhm.
lot. It's a lot involved. Then you've got
Yeah.
marketing. When all the talent in the
Yeah.
world, then you've got marketing. So yeah, so I think that's pretty cool. Well, okay, I know well, maybe I don't know. Even yeah, I love doing this because even though you're my daughter, I don't really know the inside of your head. Just like you'll probably
Fair.
learn stuff about me. Um, what inspires your songwriting process? Like, are there specific themes or experiences that influence your music?
Yeah, I think I kind of write about everything. I try to write about everything in life, but a lot of them have really been just like breakup songs and stuff. But a lot of it is like I love playing with concepts of young love, like feelings of not being good enough, um, just messy kind of events like that.
Mhm.
I feel like that kind of like those experiences shape the way I write music. I don't really make music to make people happy, as bad as that sounds. I like writing music. I like writing sad music
Right.
that kind of makes you feel like the emotions that you're feeling aren't bad. Because when I'm sad and like down and all of that, I turn to music and I don't put a happy song on. because
I
I'm
do the
like, wow,
same.
they're so happy.
Mhm.
I'm like, they're so happy. That sucks. I'm
Yep.
never gonna be happy again.
I love
Um,
it. Well, I do this. I'm gonna say I do the same. When I'm in a bad place, I
yeah,
listen to sad songs. It kinda gets you through that
yeah,
because you need to validate your feelings. Otherwise, you're just pushing them away and pushing
yeah,
them away. So yes, and I can say your
yeah.
songs. I love, and I'm gonna say this as a person who's not your mother. I love your
Mhm.
songs because they make me they're relatable to everybody. You know what I mean? And I might
Yeah.
know, like, when you do the songs, I know the background, so I'll know where it's coming from, but it doesn't matter because I can
Mhm.
relate it to my own life, and things in my life.
Mhm.
So it's very cool.
Aw,
Mhm.
thanks. Yeah, that's kind of how I do it because I think I want to write sad songs so people feel less alone for them.
I like that. That's perfect.
Thanks. Thank you.
Okay, so this is like something that's like important for all genres and all things in life, not even just creative, but I feel like since we're all creatives, we're going to say this is like really big. But how do you balance the creative and business aspects of being a musician or actor in today's industry? Like, and then like with your life, like we all have a life, like we all have other things that maybe we're doing. Like I have a job I do as well as what I do. So,
Yeah. Yeah, this is something I need to get better at. Honestly, I get really afraid of posting on social media about like songs just because I feel like everyone has that nagging fear that like this like it's not good enough, which is stupid because everything that you make is good enough for what it is and then it just gets better from there and I know that logistically like I know that so I'm getting better at it. I've kind of learned just to do it, just to post my music in the workshopping phases and also in the finished phase so that people can hear what it is. You get a lot more ears on it if you just decide to post it rather than being so afraid to do it. So I do need to get better at the business side. There are people who do it so much better than me, obviously. But I'm just starting out in it, so I'm getting there.
I think you're doing wonderful, and it's not that people are doing better than you. It's like people who do it on a regular basis. Also, some people, and I
Yeah,
wish I could do this, but I don't do it right now. Have the people who do it for them. I would love
I
that one day.
know.
I need a
I would love
marketing
that. I hate
person.
marketing.
Yeah, I'm not at that point to do that myself yet either. But
Yeah,
having somebody else do it for you, or I mean, I don't even know. It could be something you could do now. I don't know if it's even that expensive. In my brain, I'm thinking it's a lot of money, but sometimes it's not. It's just
yeah,
somebody doing some posts and stuff for you. But
yeah,
I think you're doing a lot. I love on is it only TikTok you do it, or do you do it on Instagram too, where you do the, random songs you do? Like, sometimes you'll go like, "I'm gonna do a
yeah.
song a day for a week." Like, how do you
Oh
do
yeah, and
that?
and I never do it.
But you do a lot of them. I love it. Is it only
Yeah.
is it only TikTok
It's
or
only
is
TikTok. I
okay.
should bring it over to Instagram, and I've been trying to do that.
Mhm.
These last few months, I feel like that's my life. These last few months have been crazy,
Yeah.
but I do it on TikTok only with
Okay.
that because it's just short form stuff, and I don't want to like Instagram. I feel like isn't meant for that. Isn't meant
Okay.
for the videos and the short form videos.
Right.
Um, fully. Sometimes it can be.
Right.
I am gonna start posting more on Instagram with it though, but I like pictures more on Instagram for my life.
That's true too. And then also you could, if you wanted to promote it, maybe just do like a one thing and say, "Hey, go over to my TikTok." Because I hear
Yeah.
TikTok is huge. Honestly, I hear
Yeah.
that's the best place for stuff like that.
Mhm.
I've heard
It
that. So
is.
it's one of the
It
better
is.
ones. Yeah. So it's cool.
Yeah.
I like it
TikTok
because
is good for.
yeah, and when I see your stuff, of course I listen to it. I'm like, "Oh, I love that." And then I of course have to look and see who else loves it. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, look at this person and look at this person." And they're all different, people that you don't even know. So I love
Yeah.
or one time you did, I don't remember his name, the person that you what do they do? That side by side thing where he had put
Oh, just
lyrics to this or
duetting.
something.
Yeah.
Remember that one?
Yeah. I like doing those. Yeah.
And you had to put lyrics to his song. He actually
Mhm.
commented on it, which was awesome.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
was sweet.
I get so excited
They're
about
fun.
that.
TikTok's nice because it can bring more people together.
Mhm.
Um, and you also don't know what's gonna go quote viral.
Right.
Um,
Right.
so it's good to get on every platform you can. I'm still working on that, but
Yeah.
we're
It's a
trying
lot.
out here.
You know
Yeah.
what? You can only do as much as you can do without getting
Yeah.
insane. So it's like pick one or two platforms, I think, and make those
Mhm.
well. And then if you wanted to go onto
Yeah.
anything else, fine. But not everybody. You can't do more. More than that.
No,
Um.
especially if you want to focus on getting one to go really like big to get really improve
Mhm.
on it. You can't do a lot. So
Right. That's true. And what did your
yeah.
mug say? Is that something you want to share? I couldn't read it from there.
Oh no, I actually almost didn't bring it because
I
it's a
can't.
stupid quote. It's called this. It says the snuggle is real.
Oh,
It was
that's
just a cute little
cute.
cup.
I like
I
it.
made some tea. I made some British tea today which is
British.
basically just It's just Irish breakfast, and I put whole milk in it because I haven't had
Oh.
tea with milk in it since I was probably like 10,
Oh,
and
wow.
I missed it, and I realized I don't really love tea that much, and then I put milk in it, and it was pretty good.
You know what I have? I
So,
have a hot well, I'm putting it over here like you can see over here. A hot cinnamon. I like this one. I
ooh.
think it's, called Harney& and Sons. I think I got their
Oh,
name right. You know who they
yeah.
are? You laughing at
Yes.
them? You don't like them?
Yeah. No, I'm laughing because you don't know who they are.
I don't, but you know what?
They
It's
make iced teas also, Harney& and
Oh.
Sons iced teas.
Oh. I'm not a big tea
That's
person.
funny.
I'm a coffee person.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yes. So, let's see. I'm wondering, did we you kind of answered this one, the discussing the role of storytelling? Or do you think you have more to
Mm,
say about that one? Just I was going to
ah,
ask you discuss the role of storytelling in your songs and how you connect with
yeah.
your audience through your lyrics.
Okay. Yeah, every song I write has storytelling at the center of it. I don't write songs that don't have a storyline.
Mhm.
I know some people do. People will write them just for feel good songs, and that's great. And I do like those songs. But for me, I try to have all of them have a story because I like connecting with people. So for me, I want to connect to all of my songs, and in order to connect to all of my songs, I need them to be about something that, at least in some way, I connect to. So like I've written so many songs. When I was a kid, I definitely didn't connect to them, but now, as I
Yes.
grow older, like my
Life
first,
experiences, right?
exactly,
Mhm.
yeah, my first EP
And explain what an
was
EP is.
so an EP. I think it's short for extended play, and I
Oh,
should know
okay.
that, but
Okay.
it's not an album, so it's like
So in the other
you
ti
can make anything an EP,
I don't wanna date
huh?
myself, so is it like an LP or like the actual physical record? Yeah, but it's not, it's
It's
digital.
no, it's just it's digital. It's
It's
a
a
digital now.
digital one, okay.
Yeah, it's instead of an album that could have like 10 songs on it, mine had like 5 or 6
Okay.
songs. So it's just shorter. You can
Oh,
also make an album called that has 6 songs. It's all fake. It all depends. But I had an EP that I put
so
out during
cool.
COVID. Yeah, it was fun
And you
in my
put
bedroom.
in your bed that's right, and the sound was
Yeah,
awesome. I don't even understand how you could
it
do that.
wasn't bad
It was
actually. It's
good.
definitely a lot better now, but it was oh, I also had one song where I had my ceiling fan on
Oh.
during it, and I did not realize, and I was because I'm still too lazy to re-record things, so I didn't really wanna re-record it.
Yeah.
So the whole thing had my fan on,
Oh my
so
gosh.
to tie it in the beginning intro, I just turned the fan really high and I put the mic up to it so that it would, like, be just the background noise, so I just made the fan the background sound because I was like, "Good enough."
That's a great
Tying in.
idea. Now that's creative. That is
It
working
was
with what
really
you've got. That's
funny.
really
Yeah.
good. That's really
Work I
good.
had some of the birds from outside were in one of them. I have to get creative again like that. I think of that EP and I'm like, "Wow, I didn't know how to do anything," but
Oh my
I
gosh.
did more creative things
And that's
with
out
that
there.
one.
Like, that's in there where we listen to
Yeah.
it. Like, name
That's
one of the
called,
songs.
Young Love is one. It's called Chasing Forever.
Oh, yes, yes.
I
I
love
love
that.
it.
I love the title because it was, I feel like it was someone a friend of mine from college might have been talking about it before, and I don't know who came up with it, but I it was a quote that was, "You'll never be happy chasing forever."
Oh.
And so that was just based on my ex-boyfriend in college because I was trying very hard to be like, "Yeah, we're gonna be together forever," and, like, just chasing it, and it was
Mhm.
like, "You won't be happy doing that." So that was my first EP.
Wow.
And that was a lot of storytelling in that one because some were fictionalized in there, like, a little bit of,
Mhm.
you know, not like what is it? Pulling the truth, something like that. I forget the word. Um but that storytelling really helped me heal in that. So I just kind of keep that through line of,
Mhm.
truth throughout all my songs.
Yeah, and I love that, and that's what makes it so great, because you could feel that when you listen to the songs, and you've definitely
Yeah.
got the sound, like I would know it's you even if I didn't know you did the song, I'd be like, "Wait a minute, that's gotta be Victoria, I can hear it," and that's
Aw,
great to have a sound because a lot of times people
thanks.
sound but you have a sound, yet all your songs to me are different,
Mhm.
some people have a
Yeah.
sound and they all sound the same, which is fine, it works for them, but
Yeah.
they're all the same, the melody, the everything, but yours are so
Yeah.
totally different. to love them.
Good, I try.
You do great. You do really great. I'm
Thank
so
you.
excited about that, really.
Thanks.
Yes. So really important for life again, not just singing and acting and everything else in the creative side, but how do you stay motivated and overcome creative blocks in your songwriting especially? And if you feel that if that relates to acting as well, just go there.
Okay. Yeah, I find this a struggle still. I'm like half in a creative block right now. It comes in waves with it. I try so hard to just remember that I can write about anything and everything. Like it doesn't have to be about a breakup, or it could be about losing a friend. It could be about just being unmotivated in life. It can be about everything that I want it to be. It could be about how I like my coffee. Um, but it's just, I try to just remember I can write about everything. And one thing I like to do is just write a song, like finish a full song, like start to finish, all of it. Um, Not recording because I don't want to waste my time doing that, but I'll like
Mhm.
sit down and just write the whole song.
Right.
Um, and then I'll probably scrap it and do another song. But just so I like get through the whole process, start to finish again. So that usually gets my ideas flowing a little more.
Yeah.
That's something I try to force myself to do a lot. But it's difficult.
Wow.
And then when I'm in a funk, I'm like, I'm never writing a good song again. It's never gonna happen.
Yes, yes. We're our own worst enemy. I mean, seriously,
Yeah.
talking ourselves
But it
out of
works.
things. That's great. And I'm gonna say, I don't think we mentioned this, but growing up, because I have the side thing, you basically, I know you took a couple of lessons here and there for guitar, and I don't even know if you did any keyboard lessons or anything. You basically taught yourself
College.
how to do this because I was there for the original start when you were like 8, and I'm gonna say you have come a long way. But
Thank you so much.
how did oh my gosh, what did this is just a whole side question I wasn't even planning on asking you, but like how do you do that? Being one that doesn't play any instruments myself, I am amazed.
I I can't take credit for the instruments. I'm not that good.
You are.
No, I'm not. I can do chords. Paco's pretty good. Paco can play
Paco's very
piano and
good.
guitar.
Yes. Yes, Paco's very
Annoying,
good.
but he's good.
It's annoying that he's
He
very good.
Yeah,
He's excellent.
he is very good. I can play chords on guitar. I need to get my calluses on my fingers back because
Mm,
right now it's not working. And then piano, I can also do chords. I'm really not good at them. I can accompany myself minimally, which I guess is good.
mhm.
Enough that I learned just enough to write songs. Like there was no like purpose of like playing it live.
Right.
I need to work on that if I want to like get more like experience playing
Mhm.
live, because right now I can do chords, but thank you, I appreciate it.
I
I
think
am
it's
better than I
wonderful.
was at 8.
Oh, but you're very good because I remember, of course, we're all cheering you on, and we're like, "Yay!"
Yeah.
And we're very excited about
Oof.
that. But and
Yeah.
honestly, you were so excited. You would at the top of your lungs playing, strumming, and just strumming,
Mhm.
and we'd be like,
Mhm.
"Yay!" We were your little audience, all of us. I remember
So
like having
funny.
Camille
So
here
sorry.
and Susie, and we're all cheering you on. Yay!
Yeah, my
But you
singing's
got
gotten better at least too.
very good though, and I know you did singing lessons over the years, right? And especially, and then when you
Yeah.
went to school too, did you
Yeah, a
continue
little bit.
a little bit?
I was I did a music minor, so I got some lessons there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I took quite a few voice lessons, not a crazy amount. Really just practicing, which
Mm-hmm.
helped. But I know I was really bad because family members have told me that I was really bad.
Oh, no. Who said that?
And Uncle
Oh, Uncle
Cliff.
Cliff! Shout out to
He was
Uncle
like,
Cliff.
"Shout out to Uncle Cliff, love you,
We love you.
miss
We
you."
miss you, yes. He's no longer with us, but he
But
was definitely go
he
what did
was
he say
fun
exactly?
because
He was funny. I
he was we were visiting and he was like, I think we probably sang, me and my sister probably sang again. He was like, "You guys are good." He's like, "You guys did not used to be good." We would just clap
Yes,
anyway. I
and I
was like,
remember
"That's funny."
I remember Aunt Susie going,
He's
"Cliff,"
like, "You're good
and she's
now."
like, "He doesn't know what he's talking about. He just that's not true." And she was being so nice, but it was true.
It was
But
true.
yes,
But he said we were good then. So
he
I was like,
did. He
"That's
said, "You
fair.
guys are really
I'll take
good. You
that."
weren't always good."
I've seen videos. I've seen videos of me trying to belt notes and I was like, "Wow,
But it just
that
proves that
wasn't
really lessons and
shocked."
practice and doing stuff and
Yeah.
reaching out. I mean, seriously, I mean, that's great.
Yeah, honestly.
Oh gosh. So in an age of streaming platforms, how do you think technology has impacted the way musicians connect with their fans and share their music? So kind of like we talked a little bit about it, but what do you have
Mhm.
something else to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think technology is a big asset in connecting with fans.
Mhm.
Because before you kind of had to be lucky as well as talented and hardworking to
Mhm.
get people to really hear you. Now you have to be, talented, hardworking, all of that, but it's not. It is luck, but in a different sense, because now you can post it on social media. Everyone's using social media, YouTube, Spotify, all of that. Shout out Spotify. That's what we're
Mhm.
going on in the podcast.
Yes.
Um,
Big shout
but
out.
big shout out. Everyone uses that now, so you can
Yeah.
post something at home. I don't think it costs as much money now
Mhm.
to market yourself. But it's difficult in a different sense. Now more
Mm.
people are in their heads, I think, with technology. Like I am more in my head also with marketing, so that's why I don't do it as much as I should.
Mhm.
Versus the actual like financial ability to do it
Right.
was greater back then. Now you can just sit at home and kind of do it.
Right.
But I think it's nice because even if you just post something and like one person sees it, that's one more person than they then would have seen it if you
Right.
didn't do it, or if
Right.
you had to pay thousands of dollars for marketing like back then. Um, so I think
Mhm.
it's nice. I think technology is a good thing for musicians, and you just got to balance that with mental health.
True. That you know what? That's, like,
Yeah,
super important, really, because there's a lot of
yeah,
stressful things. There's a lot in everybody's brain, I think, nowadays, so it's like, oh.
yeah,
So, yeah, I think that that's very true, and it's good, even for you to be, like, guests on other people's, like, either podcasts and things like that, because that, I think,
yeah.
grows your because you can only reach so much in your own world, and then you've gotta
Mhm.
go and I know hashtags, but, oh my god, I never know what to do about that.
I
But, yeah. Okay, so another question I had is for both singing and acting, one either or both. What actors or artists, I should say, because it's going to cover both singing and acting. What artists would you say influenced you, if any, in both of those areas?
Yeah, I for actors. It's honestly fluctuates depending on what I've been watching or what I've been listening to for singers. Um, for actors right now, I love Saoirse Ronan. She's really good. She was
Oh,
in Lady Bird. She was in
yes.
Little Women. I love her acting. It's also subtle in
Mm-hmm.
in specific instances, and then really not subtle when it needs to be. So I've loved her acting and the
Mm-hmm.
way she does that. Um, and then the other actor who is so good is Kit Connor is his name. He's in Heartstopper, this pretty popular show right now going on. His emotions are very like he emotes very well on camera. It's
Okay.
crazy. So I love that. I aspire for that. For musical influences, I've got a few. Again, changes depending what I'm listening to. I love Gracie Abrams, Maisie Peters, and Renee Rapp. They're so good, and they are like very different. So I try to kind of channel that into my music because
Mm-hmm.
Gracie Abrams and Maisie Peters are more they've got more of an airy light quality to their voices, whereas Renee Rapp is kind of a powerhouse.
Oh,
If you've ever heard
wow.
her. Crazy. She was on Broadway too, so she's got that kind of quality. So I like to mix and match those two in my music, kind of keep it interesting.
I like that. I'm gonna have to like is there a way you can share your I know there is a way you can share your list with me. I'm so bad. Because
Like a
I
playlist?
yes, because I'm half the
Yeah.
time I don't know I'm gonna tell you most of the time, I hate to say it, I don't know the
Mhm.
names of almost anybody. Even actors, like, I'll be
That's
like,
fair.
"You know that
Oh, I
actor? I
suck
love
at
that
that.
actor." I'm so bad. I mean, I'm in
I
this
suck at that.
business, right?
It's I know, and I was like, I want to be
So
that,
bad.
and I don't know who they are.
I know, I know. So I would love your playlist and share with me because I would love to. Because I think that Maisie Peters, is that what you said? Is
Yeah.
that her name? I think I've
Mhm.
heard of her, and I think I've listened to some of her songs.
Yeah. She's British.
So, just about last question. What's your favorite part about performing live? Because that's totally different than recording. And do you have any memorable or funny stories or anything from any performances?
Okay. I love the energy of performing live. I feel like
Mhm.
that's probably my favorite thing. I haven't performed live in a while. But honestly, every time I get to, it could just be karaoke and I have a microphone and I have a captive audience and then I'm good. And then I'm pretty happy there.
Yeah.
Um, so I like that. I also like that when you're performing live, things aren't perfect,
Mm.
which is something I feel like I'm learning to be okay with and learning to actually really like. Because I get hard on myself when things aren't perfect for that. But I don't know. I kind of like it because it keeps things more interesting. It makes it a little more real and a little more human. I don't
Mhm.
think music has to be so digitally perfect that we're making it now.
That's true.
Um,
And it ups the
yeah,
bar, right? Like, it ups the bar to you in your head where you're like, "Okay, not that you have to make it perfect, but you're gonna if something's
yeah,
not perfect, you're gonna deal with it and it's gonna be really good anyway,"
yeah.
kinda
Like the,
thing.
I feel like I've heard people talking recently about how when musicians they used to record on tape,
Oh,
which is
yeah.
crazy. It
Yeah.
was just a tape machine. Like they had.
Yeah.
I was doing a class and they were saying this is probably a lie, but they had maybe like 3 or 4 times that they were able to record on this tape and then they had to wipe it and try again. And so they needed to get it within the first few takes. They couldn't have a list of like 20 different takes to choose from. So they needed to get it, but it would never be perfect. It was just
Mhm.
good enough. It
Mhm.
just sounded real and it had the emotion in it and it was what they wanted
Yeah.
it to be. Whereas now we're very digitalized,
Mhm.
which is fair because I like digital like MIDI recordings, which is just like digital keyboards, all of that, fake drums. I like that more than live bands for some reason. It's more producer type, and I
Mhm.
enjoy that a little more.
Right.
But I don't like that it comes with the belief that it should be perfect. So that
Mhm.
bothers me.
Right.
But yeah,
No,
I like
that's
the
true.
realness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. It's a difference with live because you have to, like, think on your feet of something. Well, of course, you're auditioning. I mean, not auditioning. I'm sorry. You're like practicing beforehand and all that kind of stuff and going through stuff.
Yeah.
But things happen, whatever. And it's enjoying. And then you're in that moment. You're in that song rather than worrying about the sound. Like even with starting the podcast, I was reading things on it, and one of the main things was don't worry about being. Please don't be
Mhm.
perfect because that's not even interesting.
Yeah.
And number two is don't
Yeah.
worry as long as your sound is good enough. You don't have to go crazy. Don't go crazy with your sound, like
Yeah.
insane. Even though we can't help it.
People
I
will
can.
forgive a lot of things. I know, but people
I
will forgive a lot of things and I don't know, there's a reason, at least like for music and everything, there's a reason you started. There's a reason that you wrote the song and want to record it. And I
Right.
don't think it was because you thought this would sound really perfect.
Right.
Some people do.
Exactly.
Some people are like Billie Eilish vocals, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
more so, yeah, I like the real kind of rawness.
Yeah, I like that too. Very cool. Well, I have a signature question that I'm going to ask all
Yes.
my guests, and you happen to be my first. Do you have a moment that you can share in your life or career, it doesn't have to be career, it can be any point in your life, where you had a moment of resilience or divine intervention or those God incidences or a time you had to pivot and just completely change direction?
I feel like I'm constantly pivoting. Um, I think I'm constantly pivoting. Um, I've got like a real answer and then I can babble. This is like a very stupid little one. But when I came to South Carolina and I was trying to find a job, and I currently work at my apartment complex
Mhm.
and I was trying to find a job and that came up and I was like, perfect, like I would love that. And then things happened that they were like, hey, we're actually going with somebody else. Sorry. And I think it was maybe a couple more weeks and I came home because I was just sad and I didn't know what to do. Not
I
about the
was very
job, just
happy I
about
was sorry you
life.
were sad, but I
I
wanted to
know.
come and hug my little girl. I'm like, "Come
I was
home,
like, I
come
don't know what
home."
I'm doing. And then not that this is not my career by any means, but I wanted the job, and I was like, ugh. And then I was home, and they texted me, and they were like, hey, this person fell through. Like, can you get the?
Mhm.
Do you want to get the job? And I was like, wow, yeah, I would love that.
Right.
But that was where because you were like, if you start doing things and working towards things, things come into your life. So that was a good one. That was nice. I just have to believe in myself. So I
That
try to
was
kind of
good.
keep that. And then other than that, I think I'm constantly pivoting between acting and music. I just kind of divide my time. And some weeks I'm very music oriented. Some weeks I'm very acting oriented, which is kind of nice. I'm never bored.
That is good. No, that's good. I know I feel the same way. I'm never bored. I'm like sometimes I'm like I just need to not do anything.
I would love to be
Sometimes you just
bored.
need a nothingness. But
Yeah.
but I have to say with that incident, when that happened, you had just been down there and in your
Mhm.
defense, we all were down there for your birthday and for the whole week or something, 5 days or
Yeah.
whatever, right? Me,
Yeah. And
your sister, right, Julia, we were all with you and Maddie, one of your best friends.
hmm
We're all down there with you and then we all left.
hmm
Right? And now you're there and then Paco went to work. And so now
yeah, and
you're
I'm
like,
there and
"What's
Paco's
happening?"
working.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you're in a new spot, you're in a new way, and you're like, "There's no jobs, there's no" what did you also said? There's no studios near here, so then when you came home, I'm like,
Yeah.
"This is what we're doing, let's look some stuff up," and once you started doing it, seriously, I truly believe that. Once you started doing it, things come into your path.
Mhm. Yeah.
For me, I think, "Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, God is just waiting for you to take a move," and he's like, "All right, here you go, I'm gonna throw it at you, I'm gonna throw it at you," and that's what and literally, while you weren't you here when they told
Mhm.
you when you were still here? Yeah, so that was really awesome.
Yeah.
So that was so great. So, before we go, what advice would you give to aspiring singers, songwriters who are looking to make their mark in the music industry?
I am still trying to make my mark in the industry. So the advice that I stick with is just keep moving forward and trust that there is an audience for you. I've been told, and I really believe, there's literally an audience for every single person that wants to make music. You need to continue to put out your music and strive forward for them to find you. So I would
Mhm.
just say, stick it out. You
Stick
got
it
it.
out. And be
Yeah.
you. I like that because
And be
that's what I
you.
heard. I'm hearing be you. I love that. That's the
Yeah.
hardest thing to do, right? To
I
say that I'm
know.
enough, being enough, right?
I know, because so many people also are like, well, of course you're gonna be like, wow, is my music good? Like, no one's gonna
Mhm.
like it. But the class I was taking, which is from NYU, they were saying there is truly an audience for every single type of music that you're making.
Mhm.
You need to put yourself out there enough for them to find you.
Right. That's really good. And that's the other thing.
Yeah.
You've taken classes online. You've
Yeah.
decided when you found the right class, you're like, I'm going to go and do. And sometimes that's nerve wracking, right? Because they're not
Mhm.
cheap. They're not over the top crazy,
Yeah.
but they're also not like $5. So
Yeah.
to make that decision, sometimes do you think you feel it with your gut? Like you're like, okay, this is the right class for me to take. Like you're like, I think this is the right one. You might not know 100%, but how do you know that? Like, let me go with this
Yeah.
one, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I have to weigh out like, because I got a certificate at the end of it also, so I felt like
Mm-hmm.
that was worth it to do it. I always look for deals also. You were able to get a scholarship for it, so I'm always gonna be
Perfect.
like, hey, how can I do a scholarship? Get this, get that, whatever. So that
Right.
worked out pretty well for me. I've definitely paid for things that I shouldn't have, but
Yeah, we've all done that. Yep.
we all have. But no, I feel like
Mm-hmm.
you got to weigh the pros and cons to see if it's worth it, not in terms of monetary, if you're going to get money back from it, because usually it's just experience, but if it's taught by professionals, by well-known professionals, is
Mm-hmm.
usually how I gauge it.
Right. And the
Yeah.
networking is good too, be right because you're meeting other people who
Mhm.
know things because the people in the class will know things that you don't know and so on, back and forth. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we like to end with a quote. So I would like to know, do you have a favorite
Yee.
quote to close us out?
I have two if you want two.
I do. I'll take them.
Okay. One that I like, that was my Instagram bio for a little bit, is wherever you go, go with all your heart. I
Oh, I
like that
love
one.
that. I love that.
Um, yeah, the other one is what is for you won't pass you.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Those are my two.
Oh,
Those are my
I
two
like
favorite
them.
ones that I like.
I like those. Those are great.
Yeah.
And so tell us where we can find you. I'll put the links, of course, in the show notes, but give me some ways of finding you and reaching
You
out.
can find me on Spotify and all streaming platforms as Victoria Purdy. You can look up Chasing Forever, my EP. I've got a couple different songs past that. I don't know how many I have right now, but I've got a little handful of them. Working on some more, especially now that I'm alone here. I'm not alone, but yeah, you can find me on every kind of platform just under my name.
Perfect.
Yeah. Thanks for having
I can't even tell you. This is a dream to have guests, and it has been a dream to have you as my first
me.
guest. So I just want to
Yay.
say I'm very excited. And if anyone listening would like to be a guest on Time to Elevate, be sure to reach out to me on our Instagram or at Time to Elevate or myself. They're all my Instagram is in there as well. Or you can email us time to elevate at timetoelevate.org. All right. So I'll talk to you later. And I will
Woo.
I'm so looking forward to posting this and having everybody listen. So
Yay, thank you for
okay.
having me.
Oh, thank you for being
You're welcome.
here.
Love
Love
you.
you.
Gets tough, and I know it's hard to cope with the unknown. For all of us, I know it'd be easy if we were perfect, but we're not. So we go to find our faith, to find our hope. It all begins with looking up. It all begins with you. It's time to